The Mudumalai Tiger Reserve, originally named Mudumalai National Park, is located on the northwestern side of the Nilgiris Mountains. It is part of the state of Tamil Nadu, situated between the states of Kerala and Karnataka. The word Mudumalai itself means old hills. This reserve was the first wildlife sanctuary established in South India in the year 1940. The reserve covers more than 300 square kilometers and reaches up to an altitude of 1,250 meters. This reserve is now known as a Tiger Reserve because it has been selected to be part of the central government initiative, Project Tiger. The Mudumalai Tiger Reserve is also part of Project Elephant, which was launched by the Government of India in the year 1992. The objectives of Project Elephant are to protect elephants, their habitats and corridors, to address issues of man-elephant conflict, and to aid in the welfare of domesticated elephants. This initiative is being implemented in 13 states in India. The scientific name for the elephant is Elephas maximus, and for Asian elephants, Elephas maximus indicus. The majority of elephants in India are located in the southern part of the country. The number of elephants in South India has increased greatly in the last 2 decades. Let's take a look at the population trends for wild elephants in India since the year 1980. Wild calves begin grazing at around 6 months, while domesticated calves will begin at normally 1.5 years. This is because wild calves are only given the milk their mother can produce, so the need to find other sources of food becomes apparent. On the contrary, domesticated calves are given copious quantities of milk every day. In scenarios where there are no available mother's milk for domesticated calf, they are given lactogen. Very young calves are given lactogen 1, and as they grow older, they progress to higher levels of lactogen. Older calves follow similar routines to that of a matured camp elephant. However, they only consume rice and graze in open clearings. Hi, right now I'm with Masini, and she's the only calf at this Mudumalai camp, being 3 years old. They found her when she was 15 days old, and what had happened was she'd been abandoned by her mother. So at the 15th day, they tried to reunite her with other mothers, even her original mother, but she was rejected by all of them. So now she's being brought up at this camp. Masini has her food brought to her hut. She eats a large pot of rice twice a day, in addition to her midday grazing. I've been working with Masini for 3 days now, so I'll help feed Masini her afternoon meal. Having not been able to graze well because of the constant rain, Masini is a little agitated and is desperately waiting for her food. We'll now focus on the different body parts of an elephant. As you can see, most adult elephants seem to be hairless. Generally, elephants are considered a hairless animal. Although elephants do have hair around their eyes and ears as a protective mechanism. They also have sensory hairs on their trunks and hair up to 100 centimeters long on their tails. Interestingly enough, elephants lose hair as they grow. In the beginning, the fetus is covered with lanugo, a felt of thick hair. This is completely shed before birth. The calf is born covered in new hair, which eventually is lost to the sparser hair of an adult. The trunk is probably the most unique and useful part of an elephant's body. It would be almost impossible for an elephant to survive without its trunk. The trunk of an elephant is nothing but an extension of its nose and upper lip. An elephant can breathe through its trunk, hence the animal often resorts to using the trunk as a snorkel. The trunk also acts as an arm for the elephant, picking up food and placing the food in its mouth. In addition, the elephant can store around 4 liters of water in its trunk. The trunk is probably the most powerful part of an elephant's body. It is not only used as a probe to assess the environment, but can be a dangerous weapon when attacking threatening opposition. The trunk is highly flexible. It has 6 muscle groups, with each group having up to 100,000 muscle units. In comparison, humans have 639 muscles in their body. The trunk of an elephant is also very strong. It can lift 4.5% of its own body weight with its trunk, which for a mature tusker is about 270 kilograms. The trunk is also the most sensitive part of an elephant's body. This is why mahouts tend to hit the trunk of an elephant when it is being disobedient. Here I am with Santosh once again. Now, let's have Santosh display the versatility of the trunk as he picks up a relatively small stick and knife and then rolls a large tree trunk. Elephants are very intelligent animals. They have the largest brains of all mammals, although that does not mean that they are the most intelligent. The intelligence of an animal is determined by the relative size of the brain to the body. Nevertheless, brain size can denote mental aptness and flexibility, and suggest complex thought. The brain of a tusker usually weighs anywhere between 4.2 to 5.4 kilograms, and that of a cow between 3.6 to 4.3 kilograms. However, there is no indication that female elephants are less intelligent than their male counterparts. Elephants also show remarkable brain growth. The brain of an elephant calf is only 35% of that of an adult. Must is a physical and behavioral change in the elephant. During must, an elephant will secrete a thick and oily liquid from the glands on the sides of its head. Must customarily takes place in male elephants, although there have been cases where female elephants have gone through must. An elephant will normally begin must at the age of 21, and for the first 2 years will produce what is known as milk must, a white, milky liquid. After 2 years, the elephant will produce the expected oily substance. Must normally occurs twice a year, although it is possible for an elephant to have must only once if it secretes great amounts of liquid. The purpose of must is to help reduce the excess fat of the elephant. Elephants during must are increasingly aggressive and also tend to go in search of a mate. On a final note, I'd like to remind our viewers that even though the elephant is a fascinating and friendly creature, it is nevertheless a dangerous animal. You can see its strong tusks and powerful trunk, that even with such a large body, it is able to run up to 20 miles per hour. So please, always deal with the elephant with caution, and remember to always have a mahout near the elephant. Overall, there has been a tremendous increase in the number of elephants in the past decade. The government's initiatives have not only been successful in substantially increasing the number of elephants inhabiting the country, but have also dedicated time and effort in educating the masses on animal-friendly practices. Forest officials, mahouts, guides, and others are being trained not only to benefit flora and fauna, but also prevent human-animal conflict. Reserves are being opened to an eager public as greater respect and admiration is cultivated for all animals. Elephants are an endangered species with slow reproduction. Even with the complete elimination of poaching practices and substantial protection, it would take the species 30 years to recover. That is precisely the reason why the government should continue to undertake endeavors like Project Tiger and Project Elephant, and undo the excesses caused by an ever-advancing world. Elephants have roamed the earth since after the Ice Age, a legacy humans should never be responsible for undoing.